I'm here with Greg. What was your main question that you had for this one?
Well, my main question was, not so much how do we avoid somebody flaking, but how do we avoid them just totally not showing up for the date with no response. Whether hey, are you here? Or it wasn't like I asked, are we still on or anything. It was just, hey, the date was set. I'm showing up. They don't show up, and how do we avoid that going forward?
Yes, perfect. Yeah, because that's a total waste of time. All right, so let's look at from the very start of your text here, and I'm just going to go over a couple things, and then we're going to get to the bottom of it. But the very first part is how it started. Was there, hey there, Jen, it's Greg, aka your favorite dog dad. With all of my videos, when you watch online dating to phone number videos, the thing I always do is I get her to text me first. So I give out my number and I don't, even if she gives me her number back, I don't sit here and come after her. And again, the reason that's so important is when you get to setting up the date, when you get to all of that, you want her, this entire interaction, to be seeing you as the prize. She's chasing after you. And that even starts as much as she texts you off the online dating app, you don't text her.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example later in this conversation where I think you could have had this conversation online and then I could have gone, okay, when she sends something like that, that's when you can go, hey, send me a text. I don't check this much, send me a text. So just from the start, the whole dynamic, I always do. And I'm telling you, I've had guys where I do a weekly coaching session before, and the guy's been really good with game or something. But then he goes, yeah, yeah, yeah. He keeps brushing over that little thing. And he goes, okay, when I finally just was like, okay, I'm going to make her come to me. I'm going to give out my number and then she's going to text me first. He goes, it made everything easier, but he had to stop and just go, I'm going to make this a rule first before um, he trusted himself enough to follow through. And he said it made it so much easier the rest of the way. So that's the first start. The first start is just trying to always get her coming after you. Give her your number, make her text you.
Yeah, regardless if she says, like, prior to this, when we were on the dating app, she had sent me a text. It was, I didn't like where it was going because she was like kind of complaining, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I got enough complaints already. So she's like, I'm going somewhere. I had a rough day. Um, here's my number, and I didn't respond. Then she sent me another one, a little while later saying, that means, you can text me, by the way, laugh out loud.
Okay, actually, so
Something like that.
that's actually a good clarification because
Yeah.
that one is one where I'd go, okay, you actually could have texted her first there. Again, I still in that situation would have just like put a smiley face and just been like, um, you can text me, and I would just put my number right there because she's already invested enough that she's going to, and then it just makes you come off as like a very masculine, like, all right, this guy's busy, fine, I'll text him, and
Yeah.
it makes her
Yeah.
chase.
To give you a little
I
back, give
What's
you a little,
that?
give you a quick little background. Like, she's, I think she mentions it in here that she doesn't know much about me, which I'm calling, BS on. Uh, she knows more about me than I know about her from the things I've said. But on our Hinge conversation, she says she called me like Mr. Busy, because of the way I was texting.
Yes, that's
So,
good.
yeah.
That's good. Exactly. That's good, and that's so again, like you had, that was kind of like an exception. I see why you then texted her, but even in that case,
Even that.
she's like, well, hey, that means you can text me. That actually goes, hey, I'm really interested in you. So that's even more for you to go, I'm the man, I'm the prize. Here's my number, and just put a smiley face in there, and she kind of
Yep.
knows then, all right, it's a game. Anyway, from there, that's why it changes this whole thing because even where you sending her pics and she's like, uh, you sending the dog pic, I like that idea. Again, I love that, not sending the pictures and all that. But then her even going, I mean, he's cute, but no, I want to see you. That's the exact conversation I would have like flipped, where a girl's like, hey, it's Shelly from blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, prove it. Send me a pic. And then she sends me a picture of her dog or something. I go, cute, but I want. So it's exactly flipped of how
Yeah.
It will work better in your favor the other way. But again, we already kind of covered that. So let's forward all the way down to the when she says, I don't like gym selfies, so you are good. Okay, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right.
Yep.
That part right there, again, because of the situation, I like how you did it. I like you didn't send a selfie and you ended up sending that picture. I don't like that you had to do it because you had to prove yourself to her, basically. But the fact that you did it was, I see why you did it, and that made sense. So,
And I went with something that was like obviously, if you've ever been skydiving, like I was skydiving, and that was recent, So I wanted to send something that wasn't just, oh hey, here's a picture of my face.
and I love it. I think you did a great job with that. It was just as much as make her send you the skydiving pic. That's the whole different frame of mind. But in the event that you did it, I like what you did. Now, right here, let's look at this. So I don't like gym selfies, so you are good. So she proved, right? She doesn't like selfies. We already know that.
Mhm.
So I love this. When you say, what's my prize, right? Now it's going, hey, I'm Greg. I'm in control. I'm the man. I'm the prize. So what's my prize? What are you going to give me? It's a fun little playful way. You're in control. Then she says, what do you want it to be? You say, give me some fun options. Good. Totally fine, because
Yeah.
I've mentioned in many videos, let women keep giving you options. Let them reveal it. So I like what you said there. I like your timing on these texts. You're taking your time to reply. You're doing a lot of good stuff there. Then when she says, haha, we have barely talked, Mr. Busy. I can't give you viable options. Tell me what you want. Laugh out loud. Once she then goes, haha, whatever. Tell me what you want. Once she says it again, after I say, give me options, then she says, tell me. Then I go, oh, now I'm going to be decisive. So the first thing you did there, love it.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't give you options though. Now you go, all right, I'm going to be decisive. And then I would literally just say, send me a cute pic. You want her to invest at this point. You want her to prove herself. You want her to think of, all right, what pic should I send that he'll be impressed by? I want to impress this guy. Ooh, I want to make sure you want her thinking, how do I impress Greg? Now let's look at instead, what happened was, tell me what you want. And then you said, I've got a fun idea, but I'll need you to do two things. You up for it? So this is why it didn't work. This is why the date didn't work, is incongruency. Even just two texts above, you said, what's my prize? Like, you're the confident, hey, what's my prize? What are you going to give me? And then all of a sudden you changed it to, your prize was, I'm going to set up this really interesting, fun date. Are you in? So you went from, what's my prize? Work for me. Give me options. To all of a sudden you totally flipped to, hey, I'm going to come up with a date. Are you in? I know I'm exaggerating with that energy, but I'm just telling you, I've done this so many times that little move switched it from driver's seat to back seat, and now she's kind of going, I'm not really sure what to do now type thing. So everything goes better when she starts chasing after you, and you keep that, what's my prize, that playful image up. I want you to jump in here now and give me a little feedback of what you're hearing so far.
Well, again, it's getting her to chase, as guys, it's getting her to chase us. Get her more invested. The more she's, invested in us, the more she's trying to prove herself, the more, automatically her thinking of us, her thinking of guys is increasing. The value of us is increasing. So that's, kind of where I'm getting so far.
And so think about again the energy of when you come into her, hey, this is Greg, you got to send her pictures, right? That's you having to work for her. That's why everything I talk about, the way I have everything set up is for a reason, because I've done it every other way. I've done it literally every way. I've been so bored. I've tried every conversation. I've tried random crazy things, and I've funneled it down to make it work exactly the way it can work. And you want her to always come after you, but women won't know that you're a valuable guy until they see it by your actions. You can't tell her that. You can't say, I'm a great kisser, I'm a blah, blah, blah. She has to feel it by your actual interactions. And you do a really good job with mirror texting. You're doing a wonderful job with that. It's just I'm trying to give you literally I said 15 minutes of value. I'm going to give you the top advice of what I would do. It's not saying you're not doing a lot of good things, but again, I'm just trying to nitpick to give you
No,
something you can work on.
it takes everything to work. With how many options women have nowadays, it takes every single thing to make it work. And unfortunately, that's the world we're living in now, where they have so many options that right at the click of their phone.
Correct, absolutely. But the beautiful thing is when you figure out this cheat code and you really are like hammered down. And again, I'm not saying I'm the only guy that's done this. I've talked to guys and they've now been able to do stuff like this. It's once you learn it though, it's like you become the guy with all of the options, because women have all the options, but they're so used to playing it and having guys that, eat out of their hands, that when a guy knows how to play it the other way so well and you just start matching with more women, these girls just keep coming after you because they're like, well, I can't figure that guy out. But once you blow it, they lose the mystery. But if they can't figure you out, they might not message you back for 3 or 5 days. And then they scroll back through and they go, this is that one guy that wouldn't keep coming after me. Now I got a message. Hey, Greg, sorry, I didn't see your message for 2 weeks. Hi, how are you doing? It takes that time sometimes. But when you get her chasing and you keep her chasing, that's how when you set up a date, she doesn't ever flake. So let's even talk now real quickly, just even seeing how when you tried to like funnel it straight into the date idea, first thing you have to bring a king size peanut butter Snickers. You can even see how quickly she's responding to you. Within 10 minutes, she's double texting. Now, right there, when it says laugh out loud and 2, and then she says, FYI, you are not a good texter, laugh out loud. Those are the exact moves that in the online dating conversation, I want a girl to say something like that. And that literally goes, hey, Adam, I'm ready to text you. Or, hey, Greg, I'm ready to text you. So I want her to be begging or say stuff like this before I get to the phone number. And so on online dating, that's an example where FYI, you're not a good texter. You see that, you can just, reply a little bit slow, a few hours or whatnot. And you just send like hey, my bad, I suck at checking this thing. And you just put your number. You don't say, do you want to text me? You just go, my bad, text me. And then again, she's starting out, hey, Greg, this is so-and-so from blah, blah, blah. You make her prove it. You make her. And you're replying slow, so you're always in control. And then finally, she's like, hey, I feel like, when are we going to meet up? Like girls will say that to you when they're chasing you. Just like the you're not a good texter, she'll go, Greg, when are we going to meet up? And then you go, I've got a good idea in mind. And then you wait for her. And then she goes, what's that?
Little eager Edward there? Or is that what it is?
Yeah, eager Earl there. Yeah,
eager
exactly.
Earl.
You'll get women to be eager Earls all day long if you allow her to see that you're not one. Let's scroll all the way down to, let's go all the way down to definitely an old school gentleman.
Okay.
And you said, I even open car doors. I'm actually off next week. Nothing wrong about any of that stuff. I don't like to set up day dates, though, for this exact reason.
I thought I read somewhere where we do.
Yeah, I don't like day dates. The only time I set up a day date is if a girl's driving like 3 hours to see me, and it's like, hey, tomorrow morning I'll take you to blah, blah, blah. It's like I set up a date for the next morning, and she has to wear a sundress. The only time I'll do that. So just like this too, because when you have a day date, it gives her plausible deniability. She's always going to have something else ready, set up. And even if you're like, well, maybe it will go well and we'll hang out, whatever, then it's like, well, you just gave an entire day where you're showing you're not busy. So either way, it doesn't work good.
You had to be at work at 4, she says. But still, I don't like day dates either. But that's, I probably should have backed off there. Something on the weekends.
This is where I will just say this. Another one that can actually be an actionable step for you is just take off the gas just a little bit. Okay, our timer just went up, but I'll just finish with this. Okay. When you start on the date idea, or even like hey, I got 2 fun things in mind. In your mind, it should always be she should be begging to figure out what's next. The minute she doesn't feel like she's begging, I just pretend like I didn't even start asking her out on a date. And I've done this plenty of times. I've said, all right, you're responsible for 2 things. She's like, what's, number 1? And then if I'm just like, she didn't feel that enthusiastic and I don't reply, and she changes the subject, I don't force it in. I
Yeah.
take off the gas and I just keep slow texting, just the normal mirror texting, and then I wait to strike again when she goes, "Hey, Greg, what are you up to next week?" So an example here, I mean, I have to work at 4. I just go, "Hey, no big deal. You're probably busy. We can just do some other time. Have fun." And I back off, right? That's an example of I back off, and then now I expect her to then be like, "Oh, okay, thank you." And then I'm gonna make her text me first, and then she's gonna be like, "Hey, are you free this weekend?" That's how it will come about. So just take the gas off. If you start the date, just always be ready. Be like water. Always be ready to be fluid and not be attached to that outcome.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking back at it, it's almost like, the whole, my response to that, if 12 is better, then that'll work for me. Like, it's almost like weak, like, oh, 1 doesn't work for you. Okay. I'll move my schedule around for you, you know?
But
Yeah.
you know what? How can you know this until you have, like, now that we're sitting reflecting on it, it's a lot easier to look back and see this. But
Yep.
everybody in the world's going to tell you that, oh, yeah, you did, you should keep chasing, pursuing her. Everybody in the world's going to say, oh, yeah, you need to keep reaching out to her. So it makes sense why little things like this happen. But that's why I just continue to put videos, text examples. So you
Yeah.
can literally see what I say. I'm not going to like acquiesce
Yeah.
to her.
I'm not going to chase you. I have more important things. I'm the busy guy. I'm the prize.
Exactly. Even to the playful point of if a girl was like, let's say a girl says, "Hey, what time do you want me to come over tonight?" And this happens all the time. And I usually am like 9 p.m. So I'm usually like, how about 9? And if she says, "Can we do 8:30?" Even to the point of that, even if I can make it work, I'll just say, I'll like wait a little while to reply, and I'll go, no, no, but I can do 8:31. So even that little playful thing, but it's showing her, no, no, you're not in charge of this. Fine, 8:30 work for you? No, 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 8:31. Again, you just gotta stay strong. I think you'll be able to get this recording, I hope. And then I don't know, I'm gonna try to edit this out and then I'll put it in to the membership. Question for you. Where do you think I should put this into the membership? Should it be in the text example videos or should I make a new tab?
No, I think text examples are okay. Maybe with the title, like, I it's definitely
Like Greg breakdown or like, and then I just put Tommy breakdown, like whoever's name I'm talking to
how about
in the
like
title.
slow down. Don't go full speed. Because that's kind of like it felt
Pump the
like,
brakes.
yeah, I almost like, let's get let's get to the date, let's get to the date, let's get to the date, instead of her chasing me and hey, when are we gonna get to this date? When are we gonna meet up, kind of thing. It's one thing for us as men to realize that we're the prize, but it's another thing to show women that we are. Like, I could sit here and say, well, what guy can, works out, what guy has his own house, what guy makes 6 figures, what guy can bake for you, what guy can do this, what guy can do that, but if they don't see it, if they don't see that value, if we're not showing it the right way, but I think that's the biggest thing, is to show that you're high value.
That last point you said is just so huge. It's so critical. It's like, yes, you can be the prize, you can understand you're the prize, but if you don't know how to communicate that to the women you're interacting with, they are still going to see you as every other simp guy that she's ever been on dates with. So even though you're like, yeah, I'm a confident guy, that's what guys will come to me. They're like, I don't need to text. Texting's for losers. I'm confident. She better, come to me. I'm like, how is she going to come to you if she doesn't have a way to reach you? So it's like that's the like guys gotta. It's like there's one thing to have the mindset. That's the second thing to then see how that actually plays out communication wise when a girl says, hey, or she cancels on you or she reschedules. It's like a totally different game when you actually have scenarios involved. So I'm glad you brought that up. The last thing before I let you go is what is just in your own mind, what has been the most helpful in the membership for you? What has been something that you kind of gravitated towards or you enjoy? If I were to say I have a new video posted in this section, what would kind of excite you?
I mean, definitely the texting examples, and whether it's and the breakdown. Like if you were to post something like this and say, hey, check out this day at this time. Here's what I would have done differently. Just like right there, that clicks, for me.
Okay.
And you can see some of the examples that I used here. I've taken from your examples. With the whole fun idea with the two things, and you got to bring two things kind of thing. And I've used that whole I'm hard. My bad. I'm bad at checking this thing. Text me, line. I mean, and just the examples of the openers were a huge thing. When you did the video about the girl with the Hogwarts shirt on and her profile, like that, hey, I've used that, like, let's just get straight to the important questions.
Good. All right, this is really helpful for me because I mean, Greg, I don't know if you like I still have, and it makes me frustrated saying this because I know that I want to give this content to people, but it's like I really have like over 100 online dating to phone number examples that I just have saved in my Evernote. But I'm always just like, I don't know what content will help guys most. So even something like this where I get to see your text and tell you, here's what I would do differently. I feel like that might help a lot of guys too, because a lot of guys are going to relate more to a guy coming to me asking for texting advice rather than my text where I'm like, no, I'm never going to budge type idea. So I'm hoping these texting breakdowns will really help as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's and for anybody new joining, I would say take your time. Don't be in a rush to get to the end goal. Fall in love with the process of, okay, month 1, here's what I get. Study that shit over and over and over again. That way when you get to that point, you know what to do. And then, okay, fine, number 2, and realize you're going to make mistakes. It's the only way to get better. You're going to make mistakes, and it's a numbers game. You hear that more, so many times. It's going to happen. You're going to make mistakes, but realize where you made them and realize what you can do differently. And plus there's hundreds of women out there, and not every woman is going to be into you, and not every guy is going to be into every single woman out there. So realize that we are the prize.
I am offering you 15 minutes of pure value. No fluff, pure value. Apply. This can be found at my website, textingprince.com/free, in all caps, FREE, free, because of how exciting this is. All right, take care, and I'll be looking forward to a one-on-one conversation with you real soon.